Finally, it's midnight. The night has officially started. All doors are shut, and every living soul in my home is put away into an eternal sleep. At least that's how I see it. Right now, it's just me, myself, and I. I step out into the darkness of my front porch. I don't mind the darkness because it allows me to adapt to my night vision skills, and it makes me feel like I'm in another dimension. As the street grows closer, the silhouette of my brother's car gets nearer, and I hop on the hood. He won't care. It's been sitting as a junker for a few years now. It's cold. The lower half of my body trembles and sends electrical impulses throughout my whole body, immediately making me shiver. I take my iPod from my pocket and scroll down the 3,867 songs I have, searching, until I finally find the song. Click, and the song starts playing. I lay back to enjoy the moment. The song reminds me of a good old night I had a couple years ago. Nights like this always take me back to my childhood memories. I was in the back seat of a car, trees whizzing by the window. The car was moving very fast to what I recall. I was nervous, but from the alcohol in my system, I couldn't have cared less. I was just enjoying the moment. My brother Brandon and our two friends Gonzo and Chris Doom were with me that night. I came back to the present, the metal hood of my brother's car, as cold as the ice cream I sell on the weekend at my part-time job. I started working at the zoo since my best friend was able to put in a good word for me. Suddenly, I'm startled from the sprinklers wetting me. I've dozed off and not realized the time. I grab my iPod sitting beside me, headphones wrapped around my neck. The light comes on, blinding me for a moment, and I realize it's 6:57 in the morning. In my confusion, I try to recall the events of the night, but that's when panic sets into my body. I remember it's a Tuesday and my class starts in 45 minutes. I rush back inside. No one is awake yet, so the house is dead silent. I walk to my bathroom to take a good look in the mirror. I see myself standing there with my long, skinny face and my eyes drooped down with bags so big anyone would ask if I have ever slept. I splash water on my face to wake up a little. I make sure not to get my dreadlocks wet. I've been growing them for 7 years now, and they reach all the way down my back. I take care of them almost as much as a girl takes care of her hair. What can I say? I'm a little high maintenance. I give my back to the mirror to examine how long they've gotten. It makes me feel good about myself. I stumble into my bedroom. I slip on a dirty pair of underwear that I grab out of my hamper, my lucky jeans, and my favorite shirt. I pass by the kitchen to get a glass of orange juice and a granola bar and head straight out my front door. I lock my eyes with my best friend. Well, actually my car. That's just what I call it. It's a 1994 Toyota Previa LE, and it's only the best car a 19-year-old can own. I always imagine it from a distance as I walk towards it. The body, a reimagined 1960s curved spaceship, sits beautifully under the now rising sun. My brother owned it before me, and it really sucks that he had to fuck it up so much before he handed it down. He didn't appreciate it, destroying the brakes, never taking it in for an oil change, and leaving the bald tires on for so long nearly destroyed the family car. I step into the driver's side and turn on the car. The roar on a cold start probably wakes up the entire neighborhood. It's a ritual for me to let the car warm up. The lights in my house start to turn on. That means my parents are now awake and probably furious that they have to deal with my car sounds, waking them up so early in the morning. I put my car in reverse, align it onto the road, and drive to school. The sunrise is always so beautiful. However, today, it was magical. It seemed so bright, brighter than ever. Not even my sunglasses could resist the sun's rays. I put down the visor to try to get some shade over my eyes. I catch the red light on 117th Avenue before getting to school. The usual. I look to my right, and I see a brand new Audi Q7. Driving it is a cute chick. She looked about 18 or 19, had long, luscious brown hair, flawless skin, and a smile that almost made me crash into the car in front of me. I hear a line of cars beeping, and then realize the light has already turned green. I take off. School is at the next stop. I make the left and drive into the parking lot. I park in the first open spot because parking at Miami-Dade is a hassle. I turn off my car, grab my bag, walk towards class. I don't really have much in my bag or much time. I use my bag to store my Arizona teas that I acquired during my lunch break. I grab one out, pop it open, classic green tea as usual. I pass the computer courtyard and arrive to my classroom. I open the door and enter to an empty class. I whip out my phone and send a text to my best friend, Raul. No, not my car. Where are you? I text. 2 minutes pass by and he walks in. He starts the conversation by speaking of the new rims he bought. It's the same crap every time, but I enjoy talking to him. We catch up on things we did over the weekend. He picked up a shift at the zoo after class, so we won't be able to hang out today. Professor Duasso walks in, and the whole class is already sitting down. It always shocks me my professor is my father. I still haven't gotten used to it yet. Class is always interesting. He really knows how to get into a lesson and take you with him. It's always a journey of knowledge entering his class. Class ends, and everyone steps out. Raul and I catch up a little more before he has to head out to work. We talk a little bit about everything, and before he leaves, he asks me, "Friends forever?" "Friends forever," I respond. I stay alone at the table. As I gaze out into the large crowd of people, I examine them all carefully. None of them seemed to really catch my attention. However, behind this group of hipsters, there was a beautiful girl walking in my direction. Her hips immediately catch my attention. Her hourglass body has the whole group of students breakneck. God, what a perfect body. Her legs were splendid. Her face was beautiful. Her face! As my eyes meet hers, it hits me. It's the girl I saw driving into the parking lot. She has to be the most magnificent species I have ever seen. She starts getting closer, and I realize she's coming straight towards me. Oh, my heart begins to pound. Is she really coming towards me? I look around, and there's no one else around me. It has to be me. As her steps get closer, I begin to sweat a little. Well, a lot. I'm anxious to see what she wants. She gets to my table and asks if she can sit here. Trying to keep my cool and not stutter my words, I say, "Of course." She sits down, asks for my name. "Tyler," I reply. "My name is Bella," she replies. Immediately, she begins by asking me if I go to church. Well, of course I do. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I go to church every Sunday. She interrupts and begins to explode with emotions, telling me to go with her to a hearing tonight. I don't feel comfortable attending other churches. She hasn't even told me her religion, and why me, out of everyone she could have asked? I don't know what to say, but if I say no, I could lose a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I never take chances, so I'm shaking in my shoes. However, today I must take a chance. I tell her that I would love to go out to the hearing with her. She smiled, pulled out a pen, grabbed my hand, and wrote her number on it. The touch of her soft palms on mine sent jolts of lightning down my body. When she pulled back, I looked intently at her meticulous handwriting. I looked up, slightly taken aback, and her warm smile calmed me. Before I could speak, she swiftly said, "I'll be picking you up promptly at 7, turned around, and left. Since all my classes were over for the day, I rushed home to get ready. In my eyes, this is a rare opportunity to get close to a beautiful girl. Once I was home, I took a shower, and I lay in my bed naked to contemplate how my night would turn out. I am nervous. I pull out my phone, copy the number on my hand into my screen, and send her my address. It's 4 p.m., so my text to her arrives early. My back is in pain from not having a proper night's sleep, and my eyes start to get heavy, and they close without resistance. I wake up to my dad knocking on my door. I grab my phone and check the time. 6:40 it reads. I spring out of bed and get dressed. I put on some clean underwear, the nicest pants I own, and one of my brother's button-downs. He has a great taste in fashion. I examine myself in the mirror, and I feel on top of the world. And then that's when the headlights of a car catch my eye, and my heart starts to rise in a steady pace. With a rushing goodbye to my parents, I go sprinting to the car. I open the door of her Audi and sit down. Bella looks stunning. She's wearing a short dress, a beautiful pair of high heels, and her aroma is intoxicating. I become mute. I don't know what to say or how to act. I want to tell her she looks beautiful, but my mouth can't seem to open. All I could process is the weird indie music coming from the other end of her speakers. Bella starts to drive, and as I gaze out the window, I begin to question myself. Where am I? I nearly say out loud. We enter the warehouse district, and she shuts off the radio. I can't see anything outside, and it's dead silent in the car. She begins to reach a gradual stop in front of one of the few skyscrapers in this area of Miami. I begin to examine it. There are vines growing up on the walls. A part of it looks abandoned. She asks if I'm ready, and for the first time I got into the car, my mouth opens. Of course. We step out of the car and walk to the front door. We walk in and encounter a long, narrow hallway with 2 elevators at the end. We stroll down the hallway slowly, approaching the doors of the elevator. It's so cold. I begin to shiver. I knew I should have brought a jacket. Churches are always freezing. As we're waiting for the elevator, time seems endless. It feels as if this elevator is never going to come pick us up. Ding! The elevator opens. We enter the little compartment that will take me up the tower onto God knows what floor. The lights are flickering, and the cables pulling the elevator up feel flimsy. A small shuffle makes the elevator shake violently. Arriving to the 16th floor, the door opens. It's dark. I turn around to have Bella lead the way. There's no one there. Where is she? She got on the elevator. I know she did. I wander out the elevator, the curiosity taking over me, and every step seems to echo throughout the whole building. I see a hallway to my left and decide to explore it. That's when I feel the most excruciating pain course through me. My head is massively throbbing, and without being able to control my next action, I drop to the ground. Darkness takes over. I wake up, bound and tied to what seems to be a wooden cross. I start to focus my eyesight. It's hazy. The room is filled with men and women in black robes. They come in all shapes and sizes. I even notice some children. The ringing in my skull is unbearable. I feel a steady stream running down the back of my head. With every attempt to look up, the pain gets worse. My eyes go up for one more look around the room. I don't understand the scene. It's bizarre, like something out of one of my video games. What was going on here, I thought. And that's when I see it. Those hips, those thighs, that body. Without seeing her face, I instantly recognize her. Bella! I try to manage to speak, but once again, I'm mute. And it's not that I don't have anything to say. It's just with every movement, the pain becomes more severe. That's when I hear her voice. Although it doesn't sound how I remember it. There's something sharper, something darker about it. Tonight, brothers and sisters, we will feast on the flesh of this Christian boy. He claims his Savior is Jesus Christ, but does he know that his Savior is dead? The crowd cheers all at once, and the pulsing in my head grows stronger the louder they get. She continues, he died on a cross much like this one, brothers and sisters. I am here to save you from the suffering and hatred brought upon from the Christians. I fix my gaze on her. Her arm swings upwards. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Hail Satan! She reveals the blade in her hand, and in a single lunge, she takes my throat with it.